Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video, we'll be talking about a massive update that Blizzard decided upon leveling in the next expansion of Shadowlands. Right now, a lot of content creators are able to play on a private server with opportunity to check out the beta before everybody else. The server itself and the information that's coming out for Shadowlands closing to the beta is actually looking quite interesting and pretty exciting overall. The stuff is going to be available for a variety of us come next week, but as of right now, all we can do is really talk about this stuff. And this is some major changes that Blizzard is making. We already knew that they were going to change up leveling in the next expansion, a much needed change that a lot of people were happy about, but today Blizzard hit us with a massive nerf, so you might want to hold on to your pocket change before you spend it in order to level a brand new character. So if you guys are not in the know, Blizzard was planning and is still planning on making leveling faster and easier in Shadowlands. They realized that, well, most of their player base, at least for retail compared to Classic, is more focused on the end game experience. And you gotta give them credit, they put up some great dungeons, great Mythic Plus content, lots of stuff to do for end game from PvP to PvE, and even solo content from Mage Tower back in Legion, and even Visions for quite a bit. A lot of players love some of the end game stuff. There's definitely a lot to look forward to. And with Torghast being added into the new expansion, I think a lot of players are going to want to get to max level super quickly to experience the brand new content, as well as all these other systems that we'll be able to use to grow our characters. And with how much world building Blizzard is doing in the next expansion, where picking your covenant is going to mean something in terms of like altering the zone and altering the different quests that you get to play and such. There's going to be quite a lot to do for max level players in the next expansion. So Shadowlands is going to come with a level squish. That's nothing new. They're going to squish the 1 to 120 levels down to 1 to 50, and then 50 to 60 is going to be where you level into Shadowlands. So very similar like Classic WoW, just very smaller levels. This means that you spend less time leveling. In comparison, way back before some of the squishes and some of the scaling systems were added back in BFA, you had to play all the way through vanilla World of Warcraft quest zones, into BC zones, into Wrath of Lich King zones, into Cataclysm, and then headed to a mob. And then you showed up into WoD, realizing you never got pathfinding on WoD, and then slowed down your experience even further. Then you got into Legion, then you got into BFA, leveled all the way to max level for BFA, and then here you are at max level, ready to enjoy the content. That was a lot of hours spent leveling. In comparison, Blizzard wants to make in Shadowlands where you get to level through one singular expansion. So let's say you like Mists of Pandaria and you get to level through the full story of Mists of Pandaria. You go there and you level there from level 10 to level 50. Once you're done, head over straight into Shadowlands. And you'll be able to do this on a variety of characters. So for one character, you can level through Wrath. For one character, you can just level through BFA just for nostalgia. Then you can level another character through Cataclysm, but just one expansion needed. Or if you want to mix it up, Blizzard is still going to keep a lot of the scaling technology available, so you can go to Mists of Pandaria and do your favorite zone, then head over to Legion, do your favorite zone, head back to Wrath and do your favorite zones, and kind of just mix and match your experience however you want to. Either way, you'll still spend the same amount of time getting to max level in Shadowlands, which is going to be now level 60, a much smaller level than 120. So what's the big deal with this new change? Well, with a lot of the different interviews that have come out, it seems that Blizzard wants to actually nerf one of the best features that they've added, a feature I think a lot of the veteran WoW players have invested time and or currency into, which is heirlooms. Heirlooms are amazing because, well, with all of us playing retail, we all want to get to max level as soon as possible. Heirloom gear is the gear that scales with your character's level. While not super amazing in stats, it is handy because 1, you never have to replace gear, but 2, it gives you an experience boost. So players have done a variety of events to gather as much EXP gains in order to be able to level very quickly. And heirloom gear isn't that cheap. It's actually quite expensive. You either have to invest thousands of gold for, let's say you want to level a bunch of characters. That means a full set of leather, cloth, mail, and plate gear that needs to be upgraded multiple times, with every upgrade costing more gold. So that's a variety of pieces of gear to level a variety of different classes that wear different types of armor. Not to mention weapons, which cost quite a bit, as well as trinkets if you don't want to replace those as you are questing. say thousands of gold, I really do mean thousands, as the upgrades and the heirlooms themselves did get cheaper over expansions. However, for earlier expansions, all these items have been quite expensive. Or if you, let's say, didn't use gold, you at least might have used other currencies in the game, like time walking points or valor points from back in the day, or even honor points if you played back then when there were a separate currency. People have used currencies or gold and definitely time invested into getting full heirloom gear. However, Blizzard might replace this buff for experience with something else in order to make sure players don't feel like they've missed out or are losing out with all this heirloom gear getting nerfed. To quote, the big experience bonus made a lot of sense in a world where you were taking potentially 100 hours to level up, or a large chunk of time to level. That big bump was something that I felt made a lot of sense. But in a world where our goal for leveling from 1 to 50 is much smaller, closer to 10 to 20 hours for people who are experienced with the game or find ways to do it even faster. We definitely know that part of what makes the heirlooms feel exciting and interesting was the unique experience bonus, so we do not want to add something to replace that, which will hopefully be equally as beneficial or feel unique and interesting as you level up experience, but not necessarily here's a bunch of extra experience gain. So with this change, heirlooms will be kind of useless in terms of questing. Heirlooms also feel a little bit weaker than your questing gear or dungeon gear. Plus, heirlooms are kind of boring and they don't have any cool new effects that a brand new trinket and dungeon might have. But heirlooms at least scale with you, so you don't have to worry about replacing gear. But I do kind of find getting gear exciting, whether it's on a max level character getting my best slot upgrade, or some baddie corruption that's gonna make me do more damage in arenas or something. But also, while questing, getting random purples and blues with special effects is still exciting. It's not nearly as exciting as Classic. I've been playing a little bit of Classic, where every single green piece upgrade means that I can take that one extra auto attack from a goal in Eastern Plaguelands before I die again. But it's still exciting either way. So heirlooms just gear that just scales with you, I guess. So if you don't want to replace your gear, or maybe you want to have a uniform set Mog as your quest, I guess that's what heirlooms are going to be. They definitely have to add something cool if they're going to take away the experience thing, because players have invested quite a bit of gold. Imagine if you were someone who just recently, in Battle for Azeroth, dropped a bunch of gold to level a bunch of tunes, when you literally could have waited for Shadowlands pre-patch before leveling all your alts. That's where I think it would be a little bit sour spot for some of you guys listening. But this isn't the end, because Blizzard could actually make the heirlooms more exciting, and here's just my idea that I came up while working on this video. What if instead of heirlooms giving you extra experience, what if you had pants that are heirloom pants that made you move faster out in the open world? Some kind of a buff, like if you haven't been attacked in last 5 seconds, your character moves faster, so you can get from point A to point B to complete quests, or get back to the quest hub faster and turn everything in. I think something like that could be cool, and it could be something enabled out in the open world. Or maybe like a cloak that gives you a parachute, or maybe boots that upon activation with a 2-minute cooldown make your next jump go higher than usual, so you can get to places a little bit quicker. Instead of having to go all the way around, you can kind of just jump up ledges or something. So this way you'll be able to traverse the world faster in order to get from point A to point B quicker, to turn in your quests and finish quests quicker without buffing your experience gain, but buffing the amount of time, or I guess nerfing the amount of time it takes for you to get from A to B and complete everything. Maybe even add things like a shield with an active bonus that can provide defensive buff for you and your party, if, let's say you quest with friends, so you can pull more enemies in a group and then AoE them down a little bit quicker. Or like they have a necklace that can give you healing. What if you have necklaces with different buffs, absorbs, different shields, different effects, like a knockback effect if you are having to kite powerful enemies like elites around the open world, things to enhance your combat primarily while out in the open world where you are questing. Maybe like gadgets from head to toe, or certain specific enchantments that you can put on specific pieces of gear. I think that could be kind of fun, because then you would have a set of gear that's more engaging, that can give you kind of an experience boost in a different way in order to help you complete your quests just a little bit quicker without having to go to town or pull enemies one by one, where you can really just go out and pull a bunch of things. But as we have it right now, heirlooms are nerfed and it kind of sucks, but you guys let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see all of you in another one.